multivariate. So if you have a look at this definition, then you may want to you may find out that in ANOVA we only have kemarin kan satu dependent variable with some categories, right? That is in ANOVA. But in MANOVA we are going to have more than 2 dependent variable with more or the same as 2, like kita pakainya biasanya 3, yang 3 saja, 3 categories. Umumnya dipakai 2 pun sebenarnya bisa, but 3 biasanya paling banyak dipakai. Okay, so here this is what makes ANOVA and MANOVA different. I'm going to explain them to you, but again and again, MANOVA is an extension of ANOVA. So if we have a look, if we trace back our materials, our meetings, then you may find that in t-test we have one DV with 2 groups, right? Male, female, pre-test, post-test. In ANOVA we have one DV with more than 3 groups, 3 or more than 3 groups. And now we are going to have a look at MANOVA. In MANOVA we do have more than 2 or more than 2 DVs with more than 3 or more than 3 groups. Kadang 2 juga bisa. So these are what we are going to learn, but we are focusing on this one. All right, now I'll move on to my next slide. So if we have a look at more detail about t-test, ANOVA and MANOVA, you may find that in t-test we are looking for mean differences between two different means. The 2 different means might be hypothesized and real means. If you have one sample t-test, the 2 means might be pre-test from pre-test and post-test if you have paired sample t-test, or the 2 means might come from 2 different groups like male and female groups. Okay, but still we only have this one DV here. Okay, and in one way ANOVA we extend t-test. Oh, ditambah, diperluas t-testnya. In what sense? Okay, kalau di t-test we do have 2 groups only, but in ANOVA we have more than 2 groups. Okay, more than 2 groups. And remember, in t-test, ANOVA and MANOVA, we always have DVs, DV and IV, dependent variable and independent variable, variabel terikat dan variabel bebas. Our dependent variables, sorry, I forgot to record it. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, kok malah breakout?
Recording in progress.
Okay, so in one way ANOVA we have DV and IV. In t-test we do also have DV and IV. One way MANOVA juga ada DV and IV-nya. What we have to remember is that in t-test, ANOVA and MANOVA and some other uji bedas like ANCOVA, MANCOVA and the like and the family, our DVs are always in the form of scores atau ratio kalau jenis variabelnya, jenis datanya. And our IV are always in the form of categorical variable or nominal variable. Okay, this is what makes uji beda different from uji korelasi. In uji beda, we do have DV in the form of scores and IV in the form of nominal type of data, but in uji korelasi, we do have scores for both DV and IV. But we are not going to have a look at uji korelasi for now. We are going to have a look at MANOVA. Nah, ini tadi t-test is extended into ANOVA. Then ANOVA is extended into MANOVA. Or in the other way, in the other word, MANOVA is an extension of ANOVA. In what sense? Here, have a look at this one. More than one TV with like normally more than three or more than three groups. Excuse me, let me turn the air conditioner on first. Agak sumuk. Okay, so I'm back, and so this is what makes MANOVA different from t-test and ANOVA. So in the sense that in MANOVA, karena dia multivariate, then our DV is multiple or multi or more than one. So maka dari mana asal M di dalam MANOVA itu tadi adalah dari sini, multiple variables. Okay, now I'll stop here and I'll open our first session for question and answer. If you do have any questions about the basic concept of MANOVA, how MANOVA is different from ANOVA and t-test, silahkan. Karena ini simple sebenarnya. T-test diperluas menjadi ANOVA, ANOVA diperluas lagi menjadi MANOVA. Maka nanti konsekuensinya adalah cara membaca hasilnya pun juga diperluas. Kalau t-test kemarin kan hanya sedikit. So remember, hold on. Okay. Mana sih? Ini. Sure. Okay, so in t-test, you remember that kita melihat beda itu dari sig saja. Dari mana kita tahu ada perbedaan antara dua grup, yaitu dari sig atau p-value. Kemudian kita sudah tahu berbeda antara male and female, tapi kita belum tahu mana yang lebih tinggi, mana yang lebih rendah. Then we have a look at the descriptive statistic. That is in t-test. And then it is extended into ANOVA. In the sense that, seperti ini. Apanya tadi, IV-nya lebih dari 2 kelompok. Bagaimana kita tahu bahwa terdapat perbedaan? We have a look at the p-value first. In the sig for ANOVA. Nah, dari situ kita tahu school A, B, C significantly differs in their math score by the groups of school. Beda. Tapi kita belum tahu yang beda apakah AB, AC, atau BC. Dari mana kita tahu? Kita lihat dari post hoc. Post hoc itu sebenarnya some t-tests di dalamnya. Nah, kita sudah tahu sekarang AB berbeda secara signifikan, but we don't know siapa yang lebih tinggi, siapa yang lebih rendah. Now we have a look at it from the descriptive statistic. So here you have a look at, you may see how ANOVA is extended from t-test. Ada tambahan di sini. Nah, nanti di MANOVA ada seperti itu juga. Ada extension seperti itu. Pertama kita lihat sig untuk MANOVA. Kemudian kita lihat sig untuk ANOVA. Kemudian kita lihat sig untuk post hoc. Kemudian baru kita lihat descriptive. So you see how it is extended from ANOVA. Ada tambahan seperti ini. Okay. Now, Mas dan Mbak, if you do have any questions about the basic concept of MANOVA, silahkan. Is it clear enough? Yes.
I just want to make sure, sir.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So MANOVA, it's so much like ANOVA. The IV more than 2 groups. But to identify the difference is using sig MANOVA and then sig ANOVA. Then just go ahead with descriptive, like this one.
This is how. So this is how to read the results nanti, Mbak. Okay, for the basic concept is that MANOVA is an extension from ANOVA in the way that kalau ANOVA tadi hanya ada satu dependent variable, satu skor yang dibedakan untuk lebih dari 3 kelompok kan, 3 atau 3 kelompok. In MANOVA we do have 2 or more than 2 DBs atau scores. Kemudian nanti untuk 3 atau lebih dari 3 kelompok biasanya. So here, this is the distinctive feature from ANOVA and MANOVA. And because MANOVA is an extension from ANOVA or an extension of ANOVA, then we have another another thing to see before we have a look at the ANOVA, yaitu sig dari ANOVA ini. Nanti kita akan lihat bersama, Mbak. Kalau ini kan, ini ranahnya ANOVA ya kemarin. Nah, sig ANOVA kan mulai dari sini berarti. Sama sig ANOVA, post hoc, kemudian deskriptif. Ini juga sama sig ANOVA, sig post hoc, kemudian deskriptif. Nah, tapi di dalamnya, di sebelum ini kita lihat sig MANOVA-nya dulu. Does that answer your questions, Mbak Pratiwi?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, no worries. Any other questions, Mas dan Mbak? Going. Gone. Okay, so if you don't have any questions, we are having a look at the next slide. Nah, ini saya akan ulang beberapa kali supaya nanti benar-benar tidak lupa. So MANOVA is a multivariate extension of ANOVA, with the only difference being that in MANOVA there are multiple dependent variables. In ANOVA we have a single dependent variable. That's why analisisnya kalau kita lihat itu kan univariate dia. Kalau MANOVA two or more than 2 dependent variables. That's why we call it multivariate analysis. Okay. This one. Have a look at this one. Diulang supaya nanti tidak terlupa. Okay, now we are having a look at how they are normally used. So this is an example of ANOVA. In ANOVA, we do have a single dependent variable, let's say nilai fiksi, berbeda jika dilihat dari 3 model pembelajaran. Okay, I'm going to show you